How many have come on in the last minute?
Probably 3. So
Okay.
we probably could be good to
Let's
start.
get started. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our town hall meeting. We wanted to take a little time to talk with you about coming back to school and some of the news that we've heard and want to share with you. Can you see this? Can everybody see this? This letter, this calendar was mailed today to parents who had requested changes in going into the academy. Please throw this away because this is not real anymore. So if you get this letter, don't get happy. Just trash it because it's not real. It was a plan the board was working on, but they decided not to do it. But they didn't tell us that before all the principals mailed them home today. So just disregard it. But welcome again, and we're going to get started. Please put your questions in the chat. I have 2 people that will be pulling those questions as we go. And then at the end, we'll try to answer everybody's questions. Okay, so let's go. I thought we'd start with a quote from Mr. Cobain, who is a professor at High Point University. He says, your present circumstances don't determine where you can go. They merely determine where you're supposed to start. So this is our start, our new beginning, and hopefully we're going to have a successful reopening. Okay? CMS has stated 3 big priorities that they want all schools to focus on, and I wanted to share them with you in case you haven't seen them. The first one is universal access to standards aligned, grade appropriate instruction, which focuses on equity and excellence. Next is increased access to advanced coursework, which is a part of our lives here at Irwin. And finally, ensuring the physical and social emotional well-being of staff and students, which we're incorporating into the Caring Schools curriculum. So these are the things we're going to talk about tonight. What to do before coming back to school, safety things that we're doing, what we're doing in the morning and dismissal, and just looking at our school day, and then we'll end up with a few questions and answers. I took some pictures of the safety measures that are around the school. CMS came in August and put all of these things in place all over the school. These are just a few of things. If you look at those yellow marks, those are 6 feet apart. So when students are walking, they know to stay within the 2 yellow squares on the floor, on the wall. And then 6 feet warnings, how to put desks in the classroom, and the 3 W's, wear, wait, and wash. And also about temperatures being checked, and that will be for students and staff coming into the building. Okay. So what do we do before we come? First, I put it in red, it's their technology. Ms. Braggins said just to make sure that you bring your technology and your headphones. Do not bring the cords. I put that up there, but she said no, charge before you leave home. That way they won't get lost. So make sure you don't bring the cords in. Also, bring all the math workbooks, literacy books, or any materials that we sent, bring that back because the students will be using that on their rotation days. Please seal all your child's belongings in some type of container with their names because we don't want them sharing materials throughout the day. It's important to bring a water bottle because they cannot drink from the fountain itself. They need a water bottle. If they don't have it, CMS has provided us with cups. We'll give the child a cup. The teacher will take care of that and they can fill that up with water and discard it after they drink. Please pack at least 2 extra masks in case one's dropped or they just have several here at school. We also have some paper masks for students too as well, but just want to make sure that they are protected throughout the day. And also very important to practice wearing masks for periods of time. They probably already do, but if you haven't, just practice keeping your mask on, okay? And cloth masks are fine. So these are two things you're going to have to get used to. One is the attestation and the other is a screener. So the attestation is more so for the bus riders. And they have to complete that and turn it in the first day of their week. So if you Monday and Tuesday, on Monday, you have to hand that attestation form to the bus driver. It is weekly. Then we're doing that so that they don't have to take temperatures at the bus stop and all of that. We'll do that at school. And then the screener is everybody every day. And that screener is electronic. And it's also, you can do it on paper if you like. And then we take the temperatures of the students before they come into the building. There will be 10 of us that are doing that each day. Okay. And I took a screenshot. Every school's homepage has the screener and the attestation form there. If you do the screener on your phone and you show us when you get here the green check, then all we do is take the temperature of the child and then bring the child into the building. But that all forms are there for you, and the bus driver will have paper copies at the bus stops as well. I wanted you to see what the screener questions are. So take a few moments and let's look at those. They want to know close contact within the last 14 days. Any symptoms that your child may have, and they list those for you. And then they want to know, has your child been diagnosed with COVID-19 as well? Okay. All right. And now here's the attestation form. It's the exact same as the screener, except for the additions there. And then they want to know about, has it been at least 10 days since your child had symptoms, 24 hours since they had a fever. They want to know about cough and shortness of breath. And then there's an agreement statement made by the parent that you will agree to keep the student home and notify the school of any changes that happens in your child's health. So this is what you give to the driver on your child's first day of the rotation. All right, let's look at boarding the bus in the morning. When your child gets to the bus stop, it would be helpful if an adult is with your child for that first week or two. And even following that, if you're going to bring that attestation form, and look at the languages that the form is in. If you need those, they're there as well. And if you don't have that form, don't panic. The child still comes to school. They will tell us on the bus lot. We will then call you and say, look, we need your attestation form. Oh, I can't get it to you today. That's okay. You can send it the following day with your child. Okay. And again, blank copies are on the bus. Carpool. The carpool will be run by our staff, of course. Please remain in the car while you're coming into the carpool. They should have their mask on, just like the child in the picture, and be seated by the window, ready to get themselves out of the car. So once we check the temperature, the child can then get out of the car and come into the building. We're also going to ask the screener questions when we get there as well, right before we take the temperature. And then we'll give your child an all clear, and then only students can enter the building after that. The PM carpool, it's going to be a little bit different this year because we cannot gather in the media center as we used to, but we will start at the same time at 4:10. It ends at 4:35. Please follow the directions of the staff that's out there because we're trying to be efficient. Make sure they know their carpool number. Ms. Haynes is already printing those out, and know it, but also put it in the backpack in case they forget. Also, we're going to give you a carpool number to put on your rearview mirror. When you're coming in the carpool, please avoid talking on the cell phone so that you could be watching everybody outside, and don't leave your car. If we're expecting students to enter the car quickly, and we are going to keep it moving so that we can get you and your children home as safely and quickly as possible. If you have to buckle your child in, and I know Some parents like to do that. Just pull around to the handicap part. There are two there at the end of the carpool. You just pull in right there and buckle your child while we keep the rest of the cars moving. The last bullet is important. If you have someone else picking up your child, please call us at least 15, 20 minutes before we start carpool and make sure that that person has the picture ID, because we will check that before we let them have your child. Okay? You want to talk about buses, Ms. Pierce, or you want me?
If you don't mind, there's a lot of grocery unloading in my background.
Okay. We are dismissing school at 4:15. First, we'll have K2 students come out, and after 3 minutes, then we'll bring out the 3-5 students. They have to walk in single file because the carpool students are going to be seated in the hall, and if it's nice, they'll also be out front on the concrete. So we're not putting them in the media center, and we're seating them 6 feet apart in the hall. So the 3-5 and K2 bus students will come out single file with the teacher and walk to the bus lot. So if the bus is late, the students will be distanced in the hallway by the cafeteria and wait for their buses. We also can have the rest of the hallway around the front of the building, just in case we have more than one bus. If your bus is late, I will call you, or Ms. Pierce will call you to let you know that that bus is leaving the school at this time, and please be expecting your child in this many minutes. So we're going to try to make sure that you know where your child is at all times and that your child is safe here with us. And we have a team that will be watching children until those buses come. Right now, our buses are greatly decreased from last year. In the morning, we have 9 buses, and in the afternoon, we have 11. Whereas last year, in the afternoon, we had 17 buses out there. Okay. Now let's look at the school day. First of all is the isolation room. I've had lots of questions about the isolation room. The isolation room is a room that we have where we keep students who are having symptoms, not necessarily COVID, they just don't feel well, they may throw up. We have to take them to the isolation room and supervise them until you can get here to pick them up. We have to have maximum airflow in that room, so we picked the room that is right by the office, right across from the media center, where after school used to be. It was a kindergarten room, but I changed it to an isolation room because it meets all the requirements. We can open the doors, we can open the windows, and we have a brand new HVAC system that you may have not known about that we got this summer. So we have maximum airflow throughout the entire building now. We did have 2 classrooms downstairs that they had to adjust, and they came on Monday to do that. Okay. One thing about the school nurse, because I know you're probably thinking, well, is the nurse keeping the students? No. We have staff that will be keeping the students in the isolation room. The nurse will be here to handle medication, if a student has a fall, those kinds of things, and they want to keep that person safe, and we will take care of the students until you get here to get them. Now let's look at the schedule. We will have breakfast. Go back. We will have breakfast as they enter the building. All food is now packaged, so they don't get food on a tray anymore. All food is packaged and just for their hands only to pick up. We're going to have breakfast ready, and when the kids come in, we'll deliver it to the classroom. This daily schedule is going to be sent to you by the teachers. It's probably going to be pretty much the same way it is now, except we may have to tweak it a bit for lunch and recess. Also, we will follow CMS guidelines for time on task, meaning that we will not have 3 hours for literacy. We will follow what CMS has put in for each student. For lunch, we're going to have K1 students eat in the cafeteria, and 2-5 students will eat in the classroom. Again, it's all packaged so they won't drop it as they walk to their classrooms to eat. Mass breaks. We're going to have 2 mass breaks during the day, one in AM and PM. That's 10-minute breaks. They also don't have to wear their mask when they're outside. And of course, when they're eating, they can take their masks off as well. In the bathrooms, we're going to have designated bathrooms so that we can keep them clean. So once the kids get here, we'll show them this is where your grade level or your class is going to go to the bathroom during the day. And therefore, we can all keep those bathrooms clean throughout the day. Recess is different in that we have to designate areas where students play. Ms. Pierce has worked on that, and this will be their area every day where they go and play. All playground equipment is prohibited, and they cannot bring their own toys or balls or jump ropes from home either. Okay. Connect classes. We decided to do Connect a little bit different because we want to maximize that time with students as well so they can do quality work. So each grade level will spend a week with the Connect teacher. Therefore, they can get a whole unit or project done within that time. And then media now will become a part of that so that we will have 6 rotations for the students. So they will have every Connect class, but it will be for a week instead of just once a week. Okay. Electives. We're still going to have electives, but they, of course, will be virtual. Ms. Deming and Ms. Haynes are working on electives. They came up with some in the spring, and we're going to continue with those, as well as add some from the TD department. As far as TD is concerned, Ms. Deming and Ms. Haynes as well will also still be working with students on their TD coursework and providing those materials in all grade levels K-5. Let's look at instruction. Of course, we're going to have your A days, B days, and Wednesday, and the full remote academy. On Wednesdays, all staff and students are remote. And why is that? Because we're going to clean the building on that day and get ready for the next set of kids coming in the following day. So Wednesdays, we'll have the building thoroughly cleaned. And the teachers will hold office hours. They're still going to have the morning meeting on that Wednesday, check-ins, and we're also going to do some planning on that Wednesday as well. The full remote students, again, please keep in mind, they may not have the same teacher. However, I'm happy to say that we have arranged it so that all of our students are with Irwin teachers throughout all of this. We do not have to change teachers with another school, and we do not have to teach students from other schools either. We are going to focus on our children and ask for your patience as we do that because the assignments will be the same, and we'll hopefully have the grade level team just switching the students around. Okay, and they will let you know that as well going forward. They're planning all of that at this time. So my hair is still not white. We are all happy, but we are all working very hard to get a safe environment ready for your students to come in a few weeks now. So I've said a lot of things. I hope you've soaked it in. And now we're going to look at the questions. Okay.
Okay, we have quite a few questions. The first one is, where can we access an updated calendar for the hybrid return to school?
I'm laughing because every time we get one, they take it back. Hopefully, we're going to have a new calendar, the final calendar within this week and next week. We thought the one I showed you at the beginning was it, but it is not. So the board is still working on the school calendar. As soon as they get it, I will make sure I send it to you.
Will this meeting cover any changes the students in Full Remote Academy will experience?
I'm not quite understanding that.
I think they're just wanting to know if there was a second question that had that as well. How are students that are in Full Remote Academy going to be impacted?
They shouldn't be, other than maybe working with another teacher on a project or maybe for office hours. The schedule basically is the same as it is right now. They'll have their time for literacy, math, social studies, science. The only thing we have to put in there is recess time and the connect time. That's the biggest thing, and lunch. But everything else should follow the guidelines in Canvas that we already have. Everybody still will be using the Canvas curriculum, the Canvas site, all of that stays the same.
Do students bring their workbooks back and forth or leave them in the classroom?
That would depend on the teacher.
Are cloth masks okay?
Perfect. We just keep the paper masks in case someone drops one on the ground. We will have that paper masks.
Okay, I think you answered this question already, but for students remaining in 4-Mode Academy learning, will they be working on the same schedule with the same teacher?
It may not be the same teacher, but it will be the same schedule.
For students who have been using their personal Chromebooks at home, can they bring their personal Chromebooks to class?
No, they have to use, we have their Chromebook here at school.
When will transportation information such as bus stop times be sent to our bus riders?
Today, we mailed them today.
When will after-school extension program lottery be announced?
I think Ms. Blunt already has her numbers. I think she told me she has 50 students. And then keep in mind, after school, even though it's housed here, is not a part of Irwin. So they get their schedules and everything from their department. So as soon as Ms. Blunt gets it, I'm pretty sure she will send it out.
And then somebody else asked if after school will start operating again. So if they have not already enrolled in the lottery, is it too late?
Yes, that was done by October 16th.
What if you have both a K2 and a 3-5 student? I think this was when you were discussing carpool and for after school and after school buses. It doesn't affect carpool.
Oh, we put
right?
this, I got it. I'm sorry. We put the siblings together.
Will CMS utilize Here Comes the Bus app again this year?
We haven't heard that yet from transportation.
Is there more than one isolation room? Some students may not be symptomatic.
No, there's only one.
Are air purifiers in the classroom? If not, can parents donate them?
They certainly can because they're not in any classroom.
What is the percentage of students return to school?
We have about half of our students coming in the rotations.
Will students have assignments for the Wednesday remote day?
Yes, they will be working asynchronously that day. They will. And they'll have check-in time with the teachers if needed.
Do car riders receive their number the first day, or was there a form that was supposed to be completed?
No, the first day. I don't think that, well, Ms. Haynes is handling that. Is she here? I don't think so. I don't know how, if she's going to mail those car numbers out or not. It could be that we just do phone calls.
Do we have classes on Wednesday for 4 remote academy students?
All students work asynchronously on Wednesday on the same assignments.
How are you doing lunch for K and 1? I am concerned about how many kids will be in the lunchroom at one time, and will the kids still be social distanced?
Yes, we had the cafeteria manager map out how we would do K. They don't eat at the same time. So it would probably be K in there first and then first grade after them. And keep in mind the class sizes are at half or less than half capacity.
If my child is on B schedule, will they attend class via Zoom on Mondays and Tuesdays?
No, they work asynchronously on their days off.
For the days students are at home and not in the classroom, will they maintain the same Irwin teacher they've had since the beginning of the school year?
Say that one more time, Ruth.
For the days students are at home and not in the classroom, will they maintain the same Irwin teacher they've had since the beginning
Yes.
of the school year?
Yes.
When do we know if?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Every grade level does not have to switch teachers around. It's most so the 4th and 5th graders that have to do that because their class sizes are so big.
When do we know if my child is going to school?
I email the parents as soon as I process their request to change in any form. I email it to the parent, and I've finished all of the ones I had. The emails went out today.
Okay, to piggyback on what B students are doing while A's in class that Hoop just asked, someone asked if you could walk through the A schedule and the B schedule.
The A schedule and the B schedule is the same, because you've got to get all the instruction to each group. So you basically are teaching, and it just depends on the grade level. The older kids will be different because they can handle different things and remember it. Little ones will pretty much be the same. So the A group will get the instruction. They'll go home and do the asynchronous part with check-ins with the teacher. And then the B students come in, they get the instruction, and the same thing happens. And then Wednesday, they're all working asynchronously on whatever assignments they have.
So basically there's 3 days of asynchronous learning and 2 days of instruction.
Yep.
So how is full remote working?
Full remote students will be taught by the full remote teacher. And it's the same curriculum, same pace. Now, you understand why I need to sit up straight? Because it's like, oh my God, keeping all that in my head.
If a student has an appointment and the parent wishes not to send the child to school on their designated day, can the child join in on virtual classes on that day? Or if a
No.
child happens to miss the bus?
If a child does not show up to school on their day, they are absent. That is today's version of the truth.
Is it still a full Zoom day with their teacher on Wednesday?
No, there's only 90 minutes of instruction on Wednesday, and then it's asynchronous with check-ins. They have to do the morning meeting that day, and they have 60 minutes that they can divide between literacy and math on Wednesday, and then the rest of the day is asynchronous with check-ins as needed.
So full remote will not have classes on Wednesday either.
No, no one has, everything's asynchronous on Wednesday.
Do we do anything with school supplies, or does each student just have what they need in their backpack?
They need to have everything they need in their backpack. And we do have supplies here, but we have to sterilize them before we give them to a child. They want us to avoid that as much as possible.
Okay, if we select bus while enrolling at the beginning of school, can we still get a carpool number?
Absolutely.
All right. What are B students doing while A students are in class?
They're working asynchronously.
That's what I was asking.
If I need to pick up my child for early dismissal, do we pick up in the office or wait in the car?
You come up to the door, ring the doorbell, let us know why you're there, and we bring the child to you.
When will full remote academy students get the choice to continue the program?
You have until December 4th to email Ms. Robinson per the letter I sent home to let her know your preferences. Once you send that to her based on the 4 criteria that CMS has set, then she gives it to me, I process it, and I answer you yes or no. But if you want to move to the full remote academy, then that's what I do. I put you there. But if you want to come out, it's a little bit different. You have to have one of the 4 reasons to come out.
Will kindergarten students be escorted to their class?
Yes, we have people, staff in the hallways, just like in the beginning of the year, to walk them to their classroom. And they don't have to go downstairs this year. They're back on the first floor.
When do we select that our students will be car riders?
You should be selecting now and let us know. Or email Ms. Haynes and just let her know.
I lost my spot. Hold on, I lost my spot.
Is it too late to switch to the full remote academy?
It is not. You have until December 4th.
Who are the full remote academy teachers?
That depends on the grade level, and it can change too. So right now, 4th grade has Miss Ainsworth as the full remote teacher. 5th grade, Miss Parada is the full remote teacher. But the other K3s, in 3rd grade, Miss Mills is the full remote teacher. And K2, they're going to teach their kids because their class sizes are small.
With the change in the connect frequency, will the class be conducted in person or continue virtually?
Oh, thank you, Hoop. I forgot to say that. All Connect teachers go to the classroom to teach. The children do not move.
Did I hear there was a car rider form? How can that be obtained?
There is not a car rider form that I know of. I didn't make one.
So 3 days asynchronous and 2 instruction. How is full remote working?
Full remote just comes in on the Zoom just as normal. And what we did, we attached cameras to our smart boards and our smart TV so that the kids can see the teachers, but the kids at home can't see the other kids in the classroom. They can just see the teacher. So they can receive that instruction at the same time. Unless the grade level decides to do a full remote teacher, then the full remote teacher will then pull those kids in on her Zoom.
So all students will now be having 2 days of synchronous instruction. That is all?
Pretty much, yes, unless they come in for a check-in or small group with the teacher.
Okay.
They're still going to do their small groups.
So to clarify, on the 2 days that you are not in school, that are not Wednesdays, you are not joining alone for teacher meetings and such. So it's fully asynchronous for 3 days.
No, the teacher on the asynchronous days still holds office hours, small groups, and check-ins as needed.
Okay, if the student has a CMS Chromebook at home, they are asked to transport them daily.
Yes,
If somebody selected bus rail and rolling into school, can they still get a carpool number?
say that one more time.
She's
If
already
what?
answered that.
Never mind, that one was already asked and answered.
Okay.
Will there be someone to help kids with heavy backpacks?
No, not necessarily. It just depends on what staff is there. If we see a child is struggling, of course, we'll find someone to help them.
Can they leave a set of supplies at school?
It is not recommended that they do because of people that may touch it.
When you say check-ins, is that in person on Zoom?
Yes,
Is it too late to switch to full remote academy?
no, you have until December 4th.
So does A students have morning meetings on B days?
They will with the full, they should have a morning meeting with the full remote teacher. It depends on the team.
I think you just asked that one. Yeah. Will the check-in meetings on asynchronous days be with the same teacher that the student has in person or a different teacher?
It's probably going to be the same teacher.
For kindergarten kids, how do we prepare them for drop-off on day 1, such as how to find their classroom?
They don't have to find their classroom. We'll take them to their classroom because they've never been in here before. So they don't have to worry about that. We'll walk them down. The teachers will be out there as well.
And what time is the school day?
It's 8:45 to 4:15.
How many days of asynchronous learning will students in the full remote academy?
Say that again.
How many? Complete. How many days of asynchronous learning will students in the full remote academy have?
Mostly, it depends on the teacher, how she sets it up. So let's just say it's 5th grade. She'll pull them in when she has to do the lesson, the mini lessons. She'll give them the schedule for that. And then they'll come to class. It's not that they're totally alone. They will have a teacher for instruction, the same amount of time as every other child.
So if our child is coming into school now and we request to switch to full remote academy, what is the turnaround time?
As soon as you get it to me and you write it appropriately, I process it the same day that I get it. And then I usually have time to email it back to you that day or the first thing the next morning.
Okay, will full remote have full class schedules on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday and Friday? Or will they have
Absolutely.
2 days similar to virtual?
It will be exactly like it is now. It's just that they're full remote. They just don't come to school. The schedule does not change. They still get the same thing they're getting right now. It's just that they don't come to school.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Do all full remote academy students get specials or connect classes as well?
Absolutely, yes.
So why don't the kids on asynchronous days get to see the teacher instructions?
They do get to check in with the teacher on asynchronous days. They're never left totally alone.
How will the 5th grade teacher's maternity leave be handled?
We get a sub.
If a child is switching teachers because of a change to full remote, when will the change occur?
As soon as November 2nd.
There's been a little confusion with the explanation of instruction for students when they are not in the building.
I didn't hear the first part of that. It
Okay,
faded.
there's been a little confusion with the explanation of instruction for students when they are not in the building. Can we explain that thoroughly one more time?
Okay. So if, just like now, when all of your children at home, think about what their daily schedule is. It starts with the morning meeting, and then they move the literacy, math. They have a connect class, science, social studies, maybe in the afternoon, and then they can go to work on their assignments after the instruction is over. That does not stop.
Okay, so to clarify, we'll connect teachers Zoom with the kids at home while in the classroom.
Yep.
Are you going to send the information for the bus and number of the bus?
Mailed it today.
So we need to email Ms. Haynes to indicate that our students are car riders?
Yes.
Can we do both carpool and bus?
Yep. Just get a carpool number.
Is
That saves us time.
December 4th full remote academy deadline for the first semester exclusively?
No, it's for the rest of the year as well.
Okay, and would we anticipate a new deadline for the second semester?
No.
Are the in-person lessons the same on A and B days?
Yes, they could for us at Irwin. It could vary a little bit. It depends on how far the kids get on that first lesson. It could vary a little bit.
Hold on a second. Can we go back to the question about both carpool and bus rider?
Mhm.
We just need to make sure that it's in writing which days your student is going home on the bus and which day your student is going to be a carpool. Please don't tell your student, just get in carpool today. We have to have it in writing.
And if I could chime in real quick, buses have already assigned who's on the bus, but they won't drop your student unless your student never rides the bus. So let's pretend we're 3 months from now and your student has never ridden the bus, and then you try to put them on the bus. That's when it's an issue. But you can go back and forth. Miss Robinson in the front office, the main secretary, she's the one that communicates between the parents and the teachers with that one. So just know it's okay to go back and forth unless you never ever ride the bus, and then one day you want to ride the bus. There may not be a seat left.
They are the in-person lessons.
And also don't avoid emailing the teacher because they do not have an opportunity to check that email regularly. It's best to call Ms. Robinson in the front office.
Anymore. There's too many.
Would full remote students be getting the same lesson twice?
No,
Okay, is there an updated supply list for what items children should bring each day?
no, it's the same supply list.
How early is drop off if we're not in before school care?
8:45.
Will all of these rules be in writing and sent to parents as this is something AM? Will all these rules be in writing and sent to parents?
Which rules?
So we
You
have an
mean all the-
FAQ that we've put together, and that FAQ will also have the questions that we're reading out today. I'm going to compile
Yes.
those in tomorrow. So the FAQ will be updated as soon as I can get it updated in the morning with all the questions and answers. And it's on every social media platform we have and on our website.
And the slideshow too, Ms. Pierce?
Yeah,
To be-
this as soon as I trim it down, because I started recording.
Yeah, it's big.
I'll put that on the website. And also the FAQ has my email address. If you email me a question that you don't see covered, I will personally respond to your email, and then I'll also put your question on the FAQ because I'm sure somebody else also has that question.
Mhm.
How early can we drop kids in carpool? And how late can we pick up in carpool?
We're done with the carpool at 4:35, 4:40 at the latest, and we expect all the students to be gone by that time,
And what time can we drop off in the morning?
8:45.
So A and B day receive the same instruction. The teacher will provide lessons Monday and Tuesday and then repeat. It says Wednesday and Thursday, but I would think they meant Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday. Mhm.
Who
Yeah.
It might help if you talk about, just like from a reading standpoint, how the pacing guide and the curriculum is same for the week for everyone.
Right. So CMS has given us a pacing guide for the literacy instruction, and every day is different. Even though we're A-B schedule now, it's going to continue. We'll teach lesson 12 today, lesson 13 tomorrow, and so on. So the kids at home are still going to get the same instruction that the kids at school are getting. Some might get it asynchronous through the videos. Some might get it through the teacher. It just depends on how the individual teachers are doing it, as Dr. Ashford has explained. But the pacing is the same. We still have to get through the standards by the end of the year. So we're not going to teach a lesson on Monday and teach that exact same lesson on Thursday.
Will there be early school due to my work schedule?
Would there be what?
Early school,
You mean like before school? The childcare?
I would think
Yes.
so.
Yes. We
But
have
they have to
before,
be signed up for that, correct?
yes, and there's a cost.
Is that still a lottery system? And is that too late to get signed up for that?
It's too late now. They've already been assigned. That was done on October 16th. That was the deadline.
Okay, if they're in full remote academy, do they automatically remain after January, or do they have to reapply for full remote academy?
You have to do it by December 4th. Otherwise, they stay.
Go ahead and ask the next question.
Okay. For in-person students, will small groups still meet on the days they're not in person?
Yes.
Is it too late to register for after school?
Yes.
What happens if we return to Plan C in this state?
We will follow those rules. CMS will give us guidance and we'll follow the governor's orders.
With only 50% of kids returning to school, why are 4th and 5th graders having to switch home-based teachers? They have developed relationships.
They may not have to switch them all the time. It just depends on how they decide to do it. They're doing the best they can to keep their kids.
Will this current Zoom meeting be up for review for any parents who arrived tardy?
Yep, it will be on the website.
Can students carpool in the mornings and ride the bus in the afternoons?
Yep. Just making sure that we have that schedule so we know.
Exactly where on the website is the FAQ?
It will be under the 2020 link there that we have.
How will students know what to do on the full asynchronous days?
They have the same schedule as they have now. Everything is in Canvas and the teachers will direct them as to what their assignments are.
Is November 3rd still a teacher work day / no school?
Yes,
Does the change start November 2nd and then a day off?
exactly.
What is the procedure if a staff or teacher member tests positive for COVID or a student?
Excellent question. We follow the guidelines set up by the health department. Of course, there's privacy issues here, so I can't tell you everything, but we will follow those guidelines set for us and the trainings that we've had on what to do if we have a positive case.
When will parents be notified of their after-school status?
That one I can't answer again because after school is not really a part of Irwin. They're just housed here.
Can you tell us if and when the school will experience a closure? Is it a % of particular number of students and teachers that test positive for COVID?
It could be yes. We follow the guidelines set by the health department. When we get a case, they tell us everything that we're supposed to do.
It sounds like in-school students get 2 days of new instruction and lessons, while full remote academy students get 4 days of new instruction and lessons. Is that accurate, or are they somehow handled differently, even though full remote academy students are more Zoom time with their teachers?
That's true.
I think that's where a lot of the confusion is. But like what Ms. Hooper explained, when we plan these days out, we're not going to, we're going to do the best we can in order to make sure all of the kids get the same pacing
Mhm.
each day. It just might look different because your full remote teacher, their actual schedule day looks different than the in-person teachers. So that's why the time has got to be adjusted. But correct me if I'm wrong, Hoop. If third grade is covering lessons 12, 13, and 14 that week, every single student will get 12, 13, and 14.
Yes.
Right.
And if you're full remote, that doesn't mean like you just have extra work to do. It just means that your schedule will be set up differently.
Right. And we're not allowed to be more than 5 days behind in any subject, any subject. We have to be on pace. They track that, and they being CMS.
Okay, so do we not have a number of % at this time for school closure?
No.
Does Irwin need any immediate donations or supplies? And if so, what are they and how can parents get them to the school?
I think right now the biggest thing we need is gloves. The district has provided us everything else we need as far as cleanliness and all of that, but we don't have enough gloves.
I will also say we do not have any iPad chargers for grades K through 2. So if someone
That's right.
to charge their iPad, we don't have a way to charge it right now. So if you're a K2 teacher, that would be great.
If we need
Ms.
to keep
Clarkson,
a
go ahead
student home due to
unmute yourself.
possible exposure, can they join the remote learning during their isolation?
As far as I know, yes.
I think
far
Ms.
as I-
Pierce wasn't finished talking with the
Oh,
last.
I'm
question.
sorry.
I was going to tell Ms. Clarkston was going to pop in and talk about PTA's involvement in that last question you had.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you to whomever asked the question about supplies. We are in the process of polling the teachers and staff on a stock the school form. So there are a number of items that we will be asking our parents to help us provide prior to the opening of school. Some of them are wants and some of them are very much needs. That information should go out in the Hoot next week. And we really really encourage you to chip in where you can. There will be an option to just provide a donation about to a Google site where we can purchase supplies on your behalf. And then some of our teachers and our staff have specific needs that they are asking for. So please, once that form has gone out and you see it in the Hoot or on the PTA website or Facebook page, please chip in where you can. We want to make it as easy as possible for the teachers and staff going forward. And we know our families really want to support us in every way that we can. And we're going to have an opportunity for you to do that. We're just in the process right now, still collecting that list of wants and needs from the teachers and staff.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
If we
So-
need to keep, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
If we need to keep a student at home due to possible exposure, can they join the remote learning during
Yes.
isolation?
Yes,
With 50% returning, approximately how many students will be in the building for B days?
we have a total of 370 students enrolled at Irwin, so about half that, about 150-ish.
Can the in-person students log in to Zoom sessions on their off days?
Nope. Only on the check-ins or the small group that the teacher has.
If my child is in full remote academy, do I need to fill out another form to stay in full remote academy for January and beyond?
Yes.
Do we need adult gloves?
Yes.
Yes.
And our kids or both?
I'd say both.
I have a private question and it regards after school again. If
Mhm.
someone missed the phone call or the application deadline for after school or before school, are there any options for them? And if so, who should they reach out to?
They have to call the after-school office.
That number should be on CMS's website.
Yes.
Currently, my son has morning Zoom, small group, and afternoon Connect. Is that the same schedule for full remote students, or is their Zoom time increasing?
The Zoom time is not increasing. The schedule basically does not change except for recess and lunch and Connect.
Is the Hoot notification an email that goes out to parents, or is it on the school website?
Kelly, how do you send that out? Is it an email? Is he still here?
Yes, it is an email.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an email.
Okay.
You can, it goes out to all PTA members, but you can also opt in from the school website, I believe, as well as the PTA Facebook page.
How are they doing small groups in grade 1?
It's based on the students' achievement level. When they do their assessments, then they know which students need to be grouped for which skill. At Irwin, it's mostly skill-based because of how we accelerate the curriculum. So we do a lot of assessments to see where students lie. We also look at our universal screener as well to make the small groups, because our goal is to tease out the giftedness.
Is the school lunch menu available so we can decide if the student will bring lunch from home?
Yes, it is on the CMS Child Nutrition webpage. More?
That was the last one.
That's the last one for right now.
Awesome, good questions. And everyone, we are doing our best to make sure that you know everything, and we find out stuff daily, as everyone can tell you, daily we find out things. So whenever we get new information, give it to you. But right now, this is the information we have. We're working very hard again to make sure that your child keeps the teacher, but it may not be the same. It may not be possible to do that every day. It just depends.
Miss
But
Clarkston,
every effort has been made.
is Miss Clarkston still there?
I don't know. I can't hear.
Yep.
I have
I'm here.
I have a parent that's not on social media that also can't seem to find out how to sign up for the PTA. Can you just kind of give us a email address? I know you guys switched your emails around recently.
You know what? Can you just email me directly? So don't go through the Irwin PTA. My email address
Will you write it in the
is
chat?
sure, happy to.
Yeah, just put it in the chat first. Sorry.
You
cut you
got
off.
it.
And that way
Yep.
I can copy and paste it into the FAQ.
That sounds good. I really do appreciate all of you coming tonight. I realize it was a lot of information, but we're going to make every effort for you to have it. We are just excited to be able to see our babies again. I know that we miss them a lot. Every day we're talking about them and just wanting to see them. So we will do everything we can to make sure everyone's safe every single day and to keep ourselves safe as well. We are in this together. And as Ernest can say, we've got this. So we look forward to a couple weeks from now, and we'll work together so that we can be successful and everybody is safe.
One
I
more
wish-
question just
Yes.
came through. Will
Yes.
the teachers be able to interact with kids who are in the full remote academy during Zoom sessions?
It all depends on what Zoom it is. If it's the instructional Zoom, yes. But if it's not on a day that they're assigned, no. But full remote kids will be working with their full remote teacher as well as their homeroom teacher if they have to switch.
And another question, will the students have access to a microwave during lunch?
No. Mm-mm. Okay.
All right.
Again, thank y'all. You got anything else, Laura?
No, everything looks great. I'll put it in the chat. And if you put one in as we're signing off, then just look in the FAQ and I'll have it posted hopefully by noon tomorrow. That's my plan.